Virtual reality as a term is kind of problematic. Already suggests to you that it should be about reality. Like, I like the idea of it being, giving you experiences that you just could not have in reality. My name is Vance, and I'm owner of Buffalo Vision and creator of Irrational Exuberance and some other virtual reality experiences. VR is in the situation though where a lot of people have been hoping and wishing for it for a long time, so there's a lot of expectation put on top of it. And it's really expensive still, compared to a lot of other things. And so it's occupying this very kind of awkward space where a lot of people want it to happen and there's a lot of interest in it, but actually making it work and making the finances work in the short term is a challenge. Only reason I can do it is because I, have been working in the field for a long time, and I do some consulting, but I've also just put a lot of my own resources into it. I had quite a bit of savings, after working at EA for a while and doing stuff like that, and now I don't. So that's my, and the reason I'm doing that is I think for me it's really important to understand the technology and where it's going, and what should we be doing with it. I'm not just trying to throw any old thing in there and just do it just because. I think it's a transformational technology and we really need to start understanding it. Irrational Exuberance is a highly interactive cinematic experience of deep space. That's kind of the little nugget version. It's actually something I don't like talking about because, you really can't process it. It doesn't make sense until you're in it. And I really, the less people know about what they're getting, the better. And that dovetails with, having a comfortable experience and letting people kind of explore at their own pace. From a psychological perspective, letting people kind of know where the boundaries are of an experience and being able to push on those a little bit. Irrational Exuberance has lots of, kind of extreme heights, and you're in space and you can be standing on the edge of, kind of the infinite, and that can be pretty freaky, especially for folks that, have a problem with heights or very large objects, for example. That's a fear I didn't know existed. Until a friend of mine told me about it. He said, Irrational Exuberance is great, and it's the only thing that has ever triggered this fear that I have of extremely large objects. There's a number of ways in which it, I think, can go wrong, but one of them, the basic one is just that whole frame rate question and the whole not making people sick, having a comfortable experience from a physiological standpoint is really important for me. I don't ever want to put somebody in something that makes them feel bad, unless that's what they're looking for. My hope is that that with the right design decisions, you can build something that is extremely compelling for not crazy amounts of money, that will appeal to people looking for new things, for really VR native experiences, and that will be able to sustain itself as the market continues to grow. But it's hard because you really have to look at the technology and the design and not be okay, we're gonna make this really elaborate world, we're gonna make Grand Theft Auto but in VR, or we're gonna make this extremely elaborate thing and we're gonna put it in VR because that's the fantasy, but it's you have to take very, very, very tiny steps to get there. And I don't know, maybe the fantasy isn't the best thing that we could have anyway. Maybe it's something else that we haven't imagined.